rough night last night. Sometimes it happens. Shit happens, right? So I'm going to make a long story short for now, and then I'm going to detail what transpired. But last night I lost my phone. And when I say lost my phone, you know, I was drinking a little bit, and I'm not sure exactly when I lost it, or when it got pickpocketed. I don't fucking know. Look, where's the fucking phone? I'm filming on this iPad. So, I'm not sure when it came up missing. I may have left it on a bar somewhere. I may have dropped it out of my pocket. I'm not blaming anybody. But there were a couple street kids that came up on us strong. And then there was a chick that came up and gave me a hug, and maybe she got it. I'm not blaming anybody because I don't know. But I started checking my pockets. I'm like, damn, where's my phone? So, go back to the crib, fire up the laptop, whatever. And I can see that my phone is over near, General Mall. Over there in the same motherfucking area where they took my ring to those gold shops. And basically what I figured out was it was at this row of cell phone shops. But it was late at night, I was drinking. I said, well, I didn't know it was cell phone shops last night. But it was late at night, it was stationary. I'm like, alright, whatever, I'll go in the morning, try to recover it, deal with the problems. I get over there today, and it's a row of cell phone shops, and by walking around, I narrowed it down to one of two shops. I know it was in there. It was in there, it was pinging, but I couldn't be for sure exactly which one. I was about 80% sure I knew which one, but it's not so defined, and those little shops are so small that it wasn't enough evidence for me to go toe-to-toe and accuse somebody, because I couldn't be sure which shop it was. So anyhow, I had a bad night. I lost my cell phone. That motherfucker went straight over there. Same as my ring. So I spent a few hours today trying to recover the phone. Hold up. So I'm sitting here filming on a big old iPad. And what's funny, I mean, I'm going to tell the whole story in detail. I don't have enough time just right to do it right now, but I'm going to tell the whole story in detail. And it's sort of interesting. But for me, it's pretty clear cut about where, if you lose gold, or a cell phone, or a laptop, or an iPad, it's pretty clear here in my personal experience where they're taking it. And so, welcome to today's video, me talking about losing another cell phone. I lost one back in 2015 or 2016, which is funny because it was an iPhone SE, and then the one I lost last night is the iPhone mini. The small one, right? So, that's it. You know, the damn thing's, coming up on 3 years old, somewhere in there. So it wasn't like I lost something brand new. Got a lot of use out of that phone, so whatever. Life ain't always about roses and puppies and kittens. If it were always like that, it would be boring. But unfortunately, life is about ups and downs. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And right now I'm going through a little bit of agony of defeat because I got to go through the pain of, you know, I haven't given up hope about recovering this phone, but reality is I'm not going to get it back. This is the Philippines. I got to go find a new phone, get all my fucking shit moved over. It's just a pain in the ass. I'm pissed off at only myself. I'm the captain of my own destiny, and it's nobody's fault. You know, my cash was in my zippered pocket, and if I had put the goddamn cell phone in my zippered pocket, I'd still have it. Whatever reason, I had it over in the other pocket. Maybe I'd stolen something. I don't know. Back up. Go. Go. So anyhow, I've been over there trying to recover this thing, and I was down on my luck and went and talked to my buddy Eric. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for listening, brother. God damn, I was feeling lower than Snake's belly. Went over, hung out with Eric, drank a few beers, talked to him and Mercy and the ladies. You know, feel better. That's what you do. You go talk to friends or family when you're down and out. And it'll make you feel better. You don't need to call the suicide hotline. All you need to do is go talk to a friend or family member. So, let this thing down. I ain't trying to kill myself over no goddamn cell phone. Just think. Ridiculous in America, we gotta call an anonymous stranger and tell them about our fucking problems. You mean to tell me you can't talk to a friend, family member, a neighbor, a fucking preacher, somebody, instead of a 1-800 number? I never understood that. Still don't understand that. Yeah, let me dial 1-800, don't fucking kill myself, and talk to a stranger. Hey folks, so the phone is still pinging. It apparently stayed at the one spot all night, so now I'm believing that the dude took it home with him. It's back in the same fucking shop as of 22 minutes ago, across from the fucking Jollibee. And so, you know, I was talking to my buddy. He said, man, he probably thinks you're a tourist, you're not coming back. I said, yeah, he probably does. So today I'm gonna let this gentleman know I'm not a fucking tourist. This is the last chance. I want to buy the phone back. He probably gave $3K for it. I'll offer him $6. Just let me buy the phone back, dude. I know it's here. It was here in your shop yesterday. You took it home last night. Now it's here back in the shop. And, you know, just try to buy it back. Kind of like a lost and found in a border town, asking about a diamond ring. They just look at you like you lost your mind. Say they haven't seen a thing. Voila, voila. Welcome to the PI, folks. Like one big border town, if you lose a diamond ring, it ain't happening. I don't recommend you lose anything valuable in Tijuana, Mexico, Juarez, Mexico, or anywhere in the PI. Chances are you ain't getting that shit back. But hey, I'm in the entertainment business. Can a brother get a table dance? Can a brother get a table dance? So I'm gonna stop by my buddy's Eric's, let him know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go over there and just give him one more. Hey man, I'll buy it back right now for $6K. And you know what happened yesterday while I was there, they shoved it out the back door and it took off, but it's back. Too stupid, you know? So I'm gonna give him one more chance to buy it back, all is well. If not, got to go get the po-po. Put some pressure on this dog. This fucking heinous villain. And once you get the cops, if the phone's already left the shop, it's game over. They're not gonna admit to anything, the phone's gone. They can break down these phones and replace screens and do all this, but they're not smart enough to realize that a goddamn iPhone will still ping even if it's turned off. They're too fucking stupid, and this is their business. That's what just makes you laugh about the whole thing. This is their fucking business, and these dumb motherfuckers brought the damn thing right back in here. And maybe I covered it before, but yesterday, oh, GPS? Like, yeah, motherfucker. See right here, it's in your fucking shop. So yesterday I was hungover, I was being Mr. Nice Guy, just trying to get everybody to calm down, let me buy it back. All right, you want to play hardball? I got to come back. I'll keep coming back like a bad motherfucking dream. Reality is, if I don't get it back on this trip, they'll smash that motherfucker or send it to Manila. I know that. I've already written that son of a bitch off. But what business am I in? Entertainment business. I hope y'all are entertained with old single dad trying to find his lost cell phone here in Angeles City, where everybody wants to play dumb. Oh no, like dude. You know what this thing called GPS? The GPS says it's right here. Oh, no, oh, voila. Yeah, Dito, my friend, Dito. Yeah, Dito. Stop in here and holler, oh boy. And then we will proceed. I'm gonna check it one more time, because now, by the time I check it, if it's still there, I'll be on station in 15 minutes in front of that gentleman. Maybe we can conduct business like two gangsters, no hard feelings. But if you don't want a deal, you know, offer them the carrot, and then you got to get the stick with the popo. You can tell them motherfuckers. I'll stay out there for 3 goddamn hours. Okay, so I briefed my buddy on where I'm going. That way, if I disappear like old Lewis Brand, at least somebody knows my last location. I was talking to Eric, you know. I said, dude, I ain't getting that phone back. The only reason I'm fucking with this asshole is make an interesting video. And how else can you salvage the situation? By sharing my bad luck with all my friends out there. But you know what? I'm out of comms, right? Like, I'm trying to get my Telegram working on the iPad. I can't get that shit going. They want to send you a fucking text. The solution is go buy yourself a new cell phone and get a new SIM card and laugh about it. So after I get done fucking with this dude for a couple days, showing him some love. I'm showing you love, brother. I'm not mad at you that you bought my cell phone. I'm not saying you knew anything. It's an old cell phone. Filipinos found it, sold it. Ain't mad about that, but I know it's there. Just sell it back to me. Everybody's happy. Everybody lives. But you wanna be a gangster? I'm your huckleberry. I ain't got nothing but time today. So guess what? I just pencil you into my schedule. You fucking villain. I'm thinking about doing a live stream over in front of this shop. What y'all think? I'm gonna go over there and live stream, hand out free Jollibee. Okay, so the phone is here, and we're over here. And see, I'm offline. I don't have any internet, so this just doesn't have a SIM card. But you'll see where you're at with the circle, and how the circles will start to like not react to each other, but it still works even though I don't have internet off of here. So it's tracking me. Now this is from an hour ago because it needs internet to update it, I believe. Okay, so 1 hour ago, and it just took me a while to get ready and get the track. But we're closing in on it. And what I need to do somehow in this area is get Wi-Fi to see if this will update. But again, that's us. Lost. Let's just call it lost, not stolen. Be nice about it. It's right here. Now, it shows the other side of the street, but when I got out and walked into the shop, then the circles became merged plat together. You know, merged plat, some of y'all know what that means. But basically, the radar can't tell you any closer. You have to start looking around once you get merged plat. And when I'm inside that dude's shop, it was merged plat. And I went to the other side of the street and it kept showing over there. So even though the pin looks like it's on the Jollibee side, it's not. It's I'll show you. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day for the neighbor. Alright folks, 4 days are close. See how the circles. See, that thing starts pulsing, right? I don't know what that means when it starts pulsing. And maybe I should have Googled a little bit more to see what it means. But see, it's getting close. It's like, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato. See, the little shops are there, and then the Jollibee is here. But I wanted to try to show you how they react. So we're getting closer. Right there on, not here, but just keep straight, buddy. Keep straight. Go past the Jollibee. It's right over there in these shops. Right there. So see now basically we're merged plot, right? We're on it. But what I'm gonna do is get the guy to cut the block. Right over there is the target location right there. And I'm looking through the plexiglass. Yeah, just take a right here, buddy. Take a right here, Dito. This is the back side of the Jollibee. So I'll just get in. Okay, Dito. So I'll just get him to pull over, then I go walk about and go try to deal with these gentlemen who have my phone at that shop. Hey, how are you? Good, my friend. But they came back here this morning. Last night I went home with somebody, now I come back here. Somewhere here within 10 meters, right? I just want to buy it back. I got 10,000 pesos. 10K right now, I'll buy it back. No questions. Ask everybody. I'm not going away, I live here. I live here in Angeles City. I'm not a tourist. I'm going to come here every day until I get my phone back. I got pictures of my kids on there that I can't get back. I'm coming here every day until I find my phone. So here we go. All right, there's us walking. And nobody down here wants to fess up. But the phone is here. Okay, I just checked it. Well, the phone could have ran outside. It could have ran out the back door because I browsed with these people here. I'm not gonna fucking accuse anybody. But all I'm gonna do is show you merged plot right now. And nobody's seen nothing, nobody knows nothing. But we're merged plot, right? So you can take your pick, but the GPS doesn't lie. It's in one of these shops. These kids right here. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm looking for my iPhone 12 mini. The GPS says it's in one of these shops here, so I'm looking for my iPhone 12 mini. Hey, you want to come talk to me? No? I don't think y'all do. Hey, I'm looking for an iPhone 12 mini, and it's in one of these shops here, so I'm just wondering if you gentlemen can help me out. Yeah, you see that? It's called a GPS, right? So a GPS tracks the telephone. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be telling you all this. But yeah, I'm looking for an iPhone 12 mini. Anybody want to help? It's a white iPhone 12 mini. No? Okay. Well, we'll just keep asking. Hello, my friends. I'm looking for an iPhone 12 mini. The GPS says it's either in your shop or that shop or this shop. So somebody's got my phone. I'm looking for an iPhone 12 mini. iPhone 12 mini? No? Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, so your guess is as good as mine, right? Which little shop has got it, but it's one of these shops here. So we'll just document everybody. Gentlemen, I'm looking for an iPhone 12 mini. iPhone 12 mini? iPhone 12 mini? Okay, you ever seen a GPS before? I just want to let you know my phone's in one of these shops. I'm trying to buy it back. Everybody's going to say, hey, why don't you go get the cops, right? So here's the problem. This thing is like a 10-meter range, and these little shops are so close together, you don't know which shop that it's in. And the fact that there's a 2-story building also complicates it. Make that 3 floors, right? So you can't just go get the cops and say, hey, I know my phone is in one of these shops right here, right? You just can't do that. Because there's too many shops. They're too close together. If there was a house on 1 acre of land, okay, it's quite clear. But folks, the Philippines is so compressed, it's so busy, it's so crowded, you can't
you can't point the finger, and that's why I'm not pushing it. If there was one shop, okay, I'd be able to hear raising hell, right? But I don't like to accuse anybody who didn't do the crime. So I can't accuse anybody. All I know is that that fucking phone is within 10, 20 meters of where I'm standing. And, you know, what can you do? Offer to buy it back, they don't buy it. I offer $10,000, nobody bids. So you think the cops are going to be able to help? No, it'll just go out the back door like it did yesterday. But what I've learned is they don't know anything about how GPS works. They don't understand it. I mean, yesterday, like when I said, oh, GPS, it was like the first time I'd ever seen GPS. And Filipino males can't read a map for the most part. So they might as well be looking at Greek here. Even though this is their business, I shouldn't have been explaining it to them, but they were still just perplexed. Absolutely perplexed. Oh no, like dude, you see a fucking GPS? We all know for a fact that that phone is within a 10 or 20 meter radius. It was here yesterday. But you're not going to explain logic to anybody that's on a survival mentality. And again, what they did, they gave me 2 or 3 videos to talk about this shit, to educate you. And welcome to the ways of the world. It goes back to it's all my fault because why? What did I do? I lost the damn phone. I wasn't responsible for my own actions. And that's what you get. So anyhow, when you lose a phone, it's going to be over in this area where all these cell phone shops are. And I can tell you right now who the reputable ones are and who's not, just by my interactions with everybody today. But no need to name any names, but I'll give a plug out. If you're looking for a cell phone, okay, plenty of them over here.
Alright, as frustrating as it is, we're not done yet. Let's let the saga play out. Where I'm headed to now is where the phone went and stayed, or seemed to have stayed all night last night, right? Now, I can't be for sure the way the system updates. A, it could have stayed there all night, or B, it could have just pinged as it was going down the road and that was the last ping. Because if it's not around other iPhones and it's not connected to the internet, then you know you're not going to have any luck. But I'm going to go check out that spot and see what is it. And if it goes back to the same spot tonight, if they're that dumb to still carry it around in their pocket, then I'm going to come over here to the house tonight and then maybe we can narrow it down. But like I said, if you can't be sure, there's so many people, there's so many different places, it just ain't gonna work. So instead of bringing the cops now, everybody else, you might be saying, go get the cops, man, go get the cops. Probably not gonna do anything but stir them up even worse. So I said, you know what? Patience, grasshopper. Patience. Good things come to those who wait. And it's more interesting if I let it play out. The cops are just going to come over there, rile them up, piss them off, scare them up, people will scatter, phone will be in somebody's pocket. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the last thing. But right now, it's entertaining the hell out of me. So I'm gonna wait till tonight, and if that damn phone comes back over here, well, it's quite clear the phone lives in this house at nighttime. Now think about this. I don't know about these little shops, but all of the cell phone shops, a lot of places, they take all the phones home with them at night. They put in a fucking briefcase or, you know, box or whatever. They don't leave them at the shop. Unless it's a real secure place. Little smaller shops, they probably take that shit home with them every night because they're not going to take a chance on getting anything stolen, right? There's no shrinkage here. So if that thing does the same shit tonight, then it's probably the whole inventory is going home with the owner, and he's just too dumb to realize how an iPhone works. Or it may be the end of the tracking, you know. My buddy got his phones ripped off months ago, and the last thing he saw on the phones was
They were headed south towards Manila, and then that was it. You know, you get down to Manila and get parted out and stripped or whatever the fuck they do. But and I really thought that's what would happen to my phone. That you'd see that thing going south towards Manila and then, you know, into the abyss. But I was standing within 20 meters of that phone. What can you do? Can't go in there. Well, what can you do, right? Let it play out. All right, folks, we're on station here, and where the phone stayed for the longest time. Okay, this is Visitacion, right? This is Visitacion, and remember we did a video there at Zibo, great food over there. And here's the Caltech station, but it's that way just a little bit. And I'm gonna get over there and see if I can check it out from a screenshot, but the phone's not there anymore, so I can't do the old merge plot because it's back over there. But let me point the camera forward and I'll show you where it appeared to be. Up here on the left. Let's see. So this is in underneath here. All I can say is it was the last thing, and then it went back to the cell phone shop this morning. Hello. All right, so Camille's Heart Birthing Clinic, and we've already went too far. Okay, so what do we have in here? We've got just dress shop, clothing shops, ukai. And so where it actually shows, there's nothing here but this little license plate deal, which leads me to believe that maybe it was mobile, and then an iPhone passed it and it just pinged. But we know for a fact that the phone pinged right here. There's the entrance to Barangay Kut, and just this little market area. So it might be nothing. Might have just been coming through here mobile. But you know, if this had been an apartment complex or a house, that's a little bit different. But so we'll go back to Poppy's, drink some beer. Man, I might have to get me another French dip and check in to see if it's moved. Because once I left the area yesterday, or while I was there, you know, the phone ran out the back door. Anyhow, check out Zibo and Limited. Shout out to my friends over there. Hello, how are you? Get back on my chair here. What do we got back here? What is this over here? That's a store or something. Okay, all right, my friend, you ready to roll? All right. It's just crazy when I looked at the map. I wasn't paying attention. I would have said, hey, I can go over here to Zibo, get something to eat, look around. did have one lady tell the truth. And when she did, the gentleman wasn't cool with that. And she was actually trying to help me for a minute and then disappeared. I think maybe the queen told her, hey, shut the hell up, go home, get the hell out of here. You said too much. But she admitted that 2 days ago, a girl came around trying to sell an iPhone 12 mini. And she said she's not interested because nobody wants the small screen. Nobody wants to buy an iPhone 12 mini. They're not something that's sellable. You know, anybody who's buying an iPhone, she said they want a big screen. So I told her, no, I'm not interested in it. And furthermore, I guess the parts wasn't worth it either, because nobody is going to come in here and say, repair my iPhone 12 mini. So she said she turned her down because it's not a sellable item. And I believed her. That woman was telling me the truth. And then once she told the truth, the other guy who was acting suspicious, basically, I think he told her to shut the hell up. But what it did, it ruled that guy out. Because he was acting so suspicious from the get-go, I really thought he could be in my pool of suspects. But once this old lady or whoever the chick was told that truth, I just eliminated him. He was just fucking nervous and didn't want to cooperate, period. He was just fucking nervous. I got it. People get nervous. Poor guy comes around looking for lost and stolen property. I got it. But little does he realize, by his wife telling me that, now I eliminated them. It wasn't them, or else she would have said fuck. But she wasn't there the first day. But she was there today, so maybe she works the night shift, Takuya works the day shift. Hey, if she told the truth, shout out to you, Dawn. Thank you for telling me that. Because had you not told me that, I would still be fucking saying it's in this shop. I ruled that out. So now I've got it narrowed down to 2 shops. By her telling the truth as a witness, you're just a witness. There's nothing wrong with telling the truth. This is my fucking frustration, right? Nobody's gonna fucking tell you the truth. It's like going to the projects and asking around as a detective or investigator in the projects, or being in the fucking mountains of Afghanistan and asking some village or something while everybody's standing around. Nobody's talking to you. I got it. But in this case, the fact that she just made a witness statement, yeah, a girl came by, tried to sell an iPhone 12 mini, and it's not a sellable product. No. And that's the same thing the other lady told me. She said, you wouldn't get 2,500 pesos for that phone. It's not worth nothing. So she probably went to the next shop with a little bit less disreputable. Hell, they probably gave her 1,000 pesos for my phone. Anyhow, that, out of all the lies, and then you get somebody to come in there and tell the truth. It just reinvigorated my faith in humanity, that there are some good people out there. No matter where you go, there's some good people. And little does she realize, and the other dudes there, that now I know they're not part of it. Jesus Christ, all you have to do is tell the truth. Yeah, some chick came by trying to sell an iPhone 12 mini. We told her to fuck off because I can't make no money off of it. Thank you very much. I go to the next shop. But there's so much fucking bola. It's easy to say you can't trust nobody, but that woman told the fucking truth. Thank you, darling. Older lady, sweet lady, thank you. And you just, if I do end up sending the fucking popo over there, bringing the popo, I'm not coming to her shop. No need to.
Okay, and one thing let's just think about what type of shift people work, right? So it gets there at 9:48. Say the person works, 10 to 6? And so we're coming up on 10 minutes to 6. I'm just trying to make a guess here. It's 5:51. Will that thing take off at 6 p.m.? And if so, then it makes sense the person who has it is at the business from 10 to 6. No, that's only 8 hours. but we'll see. All right, folks, we got some action. Let me see if I can get my glass of that over my face. Folks, okay, 2 minutes ago, V Mall, Green Hill, San Juan City, Metro Manila. Holy shit. So Vera Mall, Green Hills, 2 minutes ago. Oh, and it's got the battery, so it looks like it may be on, connected to the internet. So where is it now? There it is, right there. 57 miles from here. There we go. So I guess I put enough pressure on them today. But what I want to see is now it's not showing the erase pending. So apparently they turned it on, it's got load, and I think that we're erased and it's in lost mode. So there you go. You want to know what happens to your cell phones here in Angeles City? Once somebody gets their hands on them, they're going to go directly over there to those cell phone shops at, not at, but in the vicinity of Gender Mall, and eventually make their way down to Manila. And that's what happens. I guess I put pressure on them today to say, get this phone out of here. And so let's go check and see if it's already said erased. It's not telling me that here. Okay, now it said erased 12 minutes ago. So let me see if it's going to show. But when I first pulled this up, it said erased 12 minutes ago. And that's all you care about. You don't give a fuck about a phone. You care about your data protection. And so the minute this thing, come up missing, I got to the computer, you hit erase, you hit lost mode or whatever it's at. And it just now got erased right now. So let's click this. Okay, 5 minutes ago, and it doesn't have any of those settings, right? So it's showing a totally different setting. But I did see when I first popped it up, it said erased. And so it looks like we're mission accomplished here. Now I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I've got iOS 16.5.1 enabled on mine, right? And I guess what it says, as long as if you have OS 15 or later, you can still use the Find My Phone to see where it is, locate and play a sound on it. Now I haven't figured out how to play a fucking sound. The only option it's giving me now is to remove the device from my account, but I can still see it. And so I have 16 whatever. So apparently at this point the thing is erased. To activate it, obviously you got to have not the iPhone, not the iCloud, not the iTunes. What the hell is it? Hold on, go back to the fucking email here. Your Apple ID. Jesus Christ. You gotta have your Apple ID and the password. So I think at this point, remotely erase your device. Okay, we've done that. And remove your missing device from your account. Alright, so there we go. Like I said, that's the only thing you're worried about is people getting into your data. But the good thing about the Philippines, folks, they're just after parts. They're gonna part it out or fucking do whatever they're gonna do. Typically, part it out, use the parts. If we were in Russia, then I'd probably still be worried about my data getting hacked or breached. But Philippines ain't known for fucking cutting edge hacking. All right, so there we go. I'll continue to track this, but I don't think it's probably going to be live very long. I think it'll get cannibalized and you just won't see it on here. But who knows? Maybe this thing will get on an airplane and show up in another country. Let's just keep tracking it. We're at this Green Hills Mall, right? Okay, so this Vera Mall, it looks like there's, well, it looks like that's a cell phone shop. Now look, I'm just on Google, right? But, you know, it looks like a bunch of cell phone shops in there. Yeah, iPhone 13. All right, now that's interesting. There's an Apple store, well, iStudio. So, right in the vicinity of where they're at. All right, so there's sort of a better look. So like it's in between this Victory Christian Fellowship, this CK's toy store, and as you zoom in, you can't, I mean, that's as close as you can zoom on this here map. You go, Dr. A, Mac, iPhone, iMac Repair Center. Okay, but so there you go. That's where it's at now. And obviously you got a lot of cell phone shops, Mac, iPhone Repair Center, even an iStudio. Again, not accusing anybody. I'm just showing you what's in the vicinity. So that's where we're at right now. You know, what are they doing with it? Who the fuck knows? I'm just glad that I saw that message that said everything's erased. Now you can't see it, it's covering it up, but that's the iStudio place. So it's very close, it looks like, to that Apple shop. Okay, so this is the best representation. I had to get the Apple map. So there's the Victory Christian Fellowship, and basically this tag, I can't get rid of that tag, but it's covering up the iStudio. But I can show you over here, that's the Victory Christian Fellowship, and there's the iStudio. So basically it's showing the phone like right there. So it's in the vicinity of the iStudio, and maybe that's where they're at. I mean, it's Apple, but you can't say that because, again, you're just working with a radius, but that's close enough to either have ping there. You know, maybe this is in motion. Maybe this didn't stop and that's where it's sitting. Maybe it's just in motion and it pings off to somebody's cell service. But that's what we're working with right there, but that would make sense. I don't want to accuse anybody. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing, folks. This is fucking pure entertainment for me. Now that sumbitch is erased, you know, this is like better than watching a movie. Your options, once it's erased, the only option that you have now is remove this device. So you've done everything you can do. But with the new operating system, as long as you don't remove it, you can continue to track this thing as long as you know, they don't start ripping it apart or whatever. But again, I'm just gonna let it go. See where the sumbitch goes. Who wants to take bets? Who wants to take bets that it dies at this mall or it goes to another country? What's perplexing is that, like I've said several times probably already, it's just perplexing that people in the cell phone business know so little about how at least how iPhones operate. They don't know shit, or B, they don't give a fuck. But I don't think they quite understand. They can do the mechanical part, but they don't understand the software and the tracking and all that. And it's because most of them don't have iPhones. You know, all these cats that work at these shops over here, you know, if they're lucky, they got some cheap Android, and some of them, they're still you know, carrying around these talking texts, but they work at the cell phone shop. So much less, you know, rocking an iPhone and knowing about you know, Find My iPhone or how all this shit works. They got no fucking clue. Okay, so that's your confirmation right there. But to see the screen, you have to go to iCloud.com. You have to get into your iCloud to be able to see this. On the app where it's being tracked, you're like, hey, is it erased or is it not erased? But this confirms, yes, it's been erased. And it says it can't be updated because it's been erased. But I think, okay, there's a little red, there you go, right there, erased. So now I'm not worried about shit. So there's some conflict between this and the app, because yes, since this is the new you know, operating system, it still allows me to track it as long as I don't click that button and remove it from my account. So I'm not going to remove the son of a bitch because I want to see where it goes. Okay, so here's another tidbit too, right? If your device is offline, you see erase pending. So the entire time it was over here at the shitheads at Angeles City, all it would say is erase pending. The remote erase begins the next time it connects to a Wi-Fi or cellular network. So this thing did not get connected to Wi-Fi until it got to that mall. And then, once it got to the mall, somebody connected it or turned the damn thing on or put a new SIM card in it, whatever they did, I think I still had load. So if they had simply turned the thing on, maybe it connected and went to work. But I guess they would have to do that, right? Because it's locked with a passcode. So I'm assuming they just turned the goddamn thing on and it automatically went to work, because since it's locked, how else would they connect to the internet? Unless it's behind the scenes. Fuck, I don't know. I'm just speculating. Either way, that son of a bitch is erased and I'm still tracking it.
Okay, folks, how's everybody doing? Hope you enjoyed this little video. I thought I would just recap a couple things now that I'm thinking about it. I got better audio. I'm not riding down the road in a tricycle. So I come up with 10 fun topics for discussion, fun facts, thoughts. They're not all facts. Some of them are thoughts and just opinions, right? So I'm going to talk about it just to remind everybody, about tightening up your security so you don't lose your goddamn cell phone. Okay, so point number one, the pawn shops here, like the legitimate pawn shops, like Palawan Pawn Shop, all the ones that are legitimate, the chain type pawn shops, anybody that goes in there, they have to have an ID, right? And a lot of these shitheads on the street that are either pickpocketing or finding stuff or what have you. Number one, they don't have an ID, and a lot of them, if they do, it's expired. So it just takes me back to that ring saga. Another one of my rough nights where I got my gold ring stolen. It was like that little motley crew of chicks. It was like Dumb and Dumber, but there were 4 of them, the 3 Stooges, however you want to describe these chicks. But nobody amongst the group had a valid fucking ID, right? So they couldn't go to the legitimate shops because they're legitimate. You got to have an ID. They check it. Oh, it's expired. No go. And so there are legitimate businesses. And the reason I tell you that is because just rule those out. You know what I mean? If your shit gets lost or stolen and it's heinous, they're not going to those shops because they know they have CCTV. Number 2, they have to have an ID. It can't be expired. And it's a reputable business, right? So where do they go? Well, they have to go to these smaller shops that are not as reputable, that are more concerned with making a dollar than anything else. And that's where they end up, right? Now, that area that I showed you, downtown Angeles, over there in the vicinity of, Gender Mall, that little downtown area over there, all those little local shops, they're mom and pop shops. And again, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody because some of them are very reputable, some of them are disreputable, okay? It's everywhere you go in this world, you're going to find people who will cut corners and some who won't, right? And that's why I didn't name anybody. I didn't push the issue too much because it's my fault I lost the damn phone, and I didn't want to hassle anybody and take time out of anybody's day that didn't have anything to do with it. But one person over there had that phone in their pocket or a drawer. But that doesn't mean that the rest of the people over there should be hassled, right? That's why I didn't push it, okay? But just bear that in mind. So if you lose a phone, if you're sitting at a restaurant or bar and you lose a phone, it's not going to the legitimate pawn shops like Palawan. It's going right over there in the vicinity of Jenner, okay? But you're not going to get anywhere, okay? You're not going to be successful. So
I just bring that up so don't waste your time going to the Palawan. Hey, did somebody pawn a phone? Hey, did somebody pawn my jewelry? That's not where they're going to take it. Why? Because a lot of these idiots don't have ID cards. It's so funny. Those chicks, I can't remember. I think the girl that actually took it and pawned it, she wasn't even part of the crew. They had to go recruit somebody that had a fucking valid ID. Folks, a lot of people here in this country don't have ID cards. Zero. If they do, it's one, it's expired, which is basically useless. A lot of people here don't have a basic ID card. So, just tidbit number one. Number two, I'll put the screenshot up there. But if you have an iPhone, an Apple product, what you want to do is go in to settings and you'll click your name up at the top and it'll go over to Find My. You click that and you end up on the screen. And it has those three settings, right? Now, I recommend that you keep all three of those settings on. Because the one, if you don't check that, it won't track if it's not online. Okay? And anyhow, I think all three of those should be checked. Now look, there's a lot of us, a lot of those out there, maybe you're one of them, that are paranoid that the government is tracking you. Well, guess what? The government can track you any fucking time they want. It doesn't matter what those goddamn settings are. So just go ahead and click them and keep them on in case you lose your shit. It could help you out, right? Unless you wrap that thing up in tinfoil in a Faraday cage, trust me, it can be tracked no matter what your settings are. So I recommend that you keep those settings on. And let's see, number three, this is something I was thinking about when the phone's there. I'm like, damn, what notifications? They can't get into the phone, but you know how on the lock screen the notification will come up for a couple seconds and you can like read the first few lines or what have you, depending on how big your screen is. I'm like, fuck, somebody could be sitting there reading that message for that flash when it comes up, even though the phone is locked. So you can go in there, I believe I'm telling you this right, and take that one notification out so it doesn't show anything when it's locked, right? So that's something I'm about to look at. Make sure all my settings are straight where if they find it and it's locked, they can't temporarily read my messages. Make sure your battery is always charged. Okay. Luckily, right before I cruised out that night, I plugged that thing in. So when I rolled out, it had a full charge. And so during these 2 days of doing whatever they're doing and jacking around, whatever, when that thing came on, you could see the battery level and it was down to, 20%, whatever. It was low battery. But that was only because I charged that thing right before I went out. And I think that's what helped me. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But keeping the phone fully charged is obviously going to it's going to assist in the tracking, right? If that's a totally freaking dead battery right there, half these folks, they don't have a charger for an iPhone. But if somebody's playing around with it and turns the thing on, trying to get it to work and it's got a full battery, well, now you have the possibility it's going to connect, it's going to do the erase, it's going to do whatever it's got to do. But if it's low bat, then, that's not helping you. So luckily I had that thing charged right before I rolled out. I got to get my glasses. I can't see what I wrote right here. Okay, I was thinking, you know what? You know how a lot of people will keep something behind the case, either cash or a credit card or something. I started thinking, did I put anything behind there? But I don't put cards or IDs or anything behind that case. I may have had 100 pesos behind there, but I don't put anything, because think about how many times you're pulling that phone out, right? You're pulling that phone out, you're talking on it. If the phone gets snatched, well, there's all these security mechanisms, but you got cards and cash and IDs in there. If you have one of those little things that fold and you put your credit cards in there, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all, because you just always have that phone out. It's better to keep that wallet stuff in your pocket And when you're pulling that phone in and out, sitting it down, there's nothing in there that's personable as far as ID cards or stuff like that. But walking around here in Angeles City, I see a lot of people that have those little folding things with all the little credit cards. And then what happens when they open it up is you can see part of their ID, part of their credit card, right? So I don't think those are a good idea. I think at one point I had one and I just realized this ain't good, because every time I go to deal with my phone, all my credit cards, which is basically your wallet, is in your hand. They take off, they got both, right? So I recommend keep your wallet in your pocket, zipped up, or your purse zipped up, what have you, and don't attach anything to the cell phone. But then I thought, I wonder if it would have been any different, because I don't have an AirTag. I've never owned an AirTag. What if you put an AirTag behind the case, right? I don't know how AirTags get tracked, but I think they get tracked the same way that the phone gets tracked when it's turned off. So I'm just wondering, what if I had an AirTag behind that case? Would my tracking have been more accurate and more real-time and more up-to-date? Now again, I don't know exactly how this Apple stuff works. There's a lot of speculation on my video, so if I'm way the hell off and you work for Apple, well, correct me down in the comments. But in America, a lot of people have iPhones, right? And I would say probably in Makati, a lot of people have iPhones. You go out to the province, not many people have iPhones. So there's not that many Apple products in certain areas of this country where one Apple device can ping off of another Apple device because they're slim. And so like when I was walking around messing with those cell phone shops, there were only a couple ladies that had iPhones. And you know, like I said, a lot of those cats working in them shops, they just have a talk and text. They work there at the cell shop. They'll sell you an iPhone, but they don't have enough money to buy one on their own. And all those phones are powered down. And they don't have SIM cards in them. So again, a lot of speculation on how this shit works, but that's just food for thought too. What happens if you got a nice, you know, thick case and you slide an AirTag behind there? All right, moving right along. Okay. All right. And this is my principle when I go out, and when I know I'm going out, I don't carry a cell phone at all. Or B, I carry my talk and text, which is worth $10, and that's typically most of the time why I don't have any problems. This time I didn't plan on going out and drinking, and I just ran into some folks and started drinking, and you know, you get careless, right? And that's why I can't say what happened to the phone. I don't know, it fell out of my pants pocket. That girl that gave me a hug took it. The street kids took it. Who the fuck knows? But if you don't carry a phone, or B, you just carry a burner talk and text with a burner SIM, who cares, right? You wouldn't have went through, and I wouldn't have went through all this stuff, and that's normally my principle. But I was out and about, didn't expect to start drinking, and I had my phone with me. So ended up biting me in the ass. All right, what's that? How many is that? Is that 3, 4, 5, 6? Maybe this is not exactly 10, right? Okay. Another lesson, just don't drink. Don't get drunk. Just let your guard down and get careless. So maybe don't drink at all, where you're a little bit more on guard with your gear. Again, I wear these pants with a zippered pocket. Never lost anything out of this zippered pocket. And if that phone had been in this zippered pocket, it'd still be there today. But apparently I pulled the phone out probably to film a clip or something because of the industry that I'm in. I probably pulled it out, filmed something, put it back, was going to film something else and wasn't paying attention. And that's how it got away from me. But if it was, my money and everything was in my zippered pocket, they didn't get none of that. All my money was there. So, anyhow, let's see, moving right along. Okay, this is a good reminder for me. Even though I'm confident the data is secure, right? I trust Apple. I don't trust the government. But what I'm saying is I'm not worried about some idiot down in a cell phone shop in Manila cracking any of my stuff. But what it does, it just serves as a motivator to say, you know what, I haven't changed all my passwords in so many months or whatever. This is a perfect time while I'm in the mind frame of security to change all the passwords. And so just go through and change all your pertinent passwords while you're in the mind frame. And maybe since you're watching this video and listening to my voice, maybe it's a good time for you to change all your passwords because you haven't done so in 2 or 3 years. Now I've been outside the U.S. like I keep saying over a decade, but I guess if you add it up, it's probably close to 15 years of my life. And I've been hacked on a couple occasions. One time was in Afghanistan. It hit my laptops, whatever it was. We were using these, I can't remember if it was actual SIM card or like the pocket Wi-Fi. I can't remember, but it was some nasty shit. It was probably some Iranian shit. I don't know, but it shut down. It took out a Panasonic Toughbook and a MacBook Pro, which that was that's why I think it wasn't just some hackers, because usually it'll take out the PC, right? But Macs aren't affected, or they're, it's a different. The viruses are targeted at the different systems, right? It took out both my fucking laptops. I mean, it took out my Panasonic. I mean, just that thing up. I'm like, damn it, whatever. Got to get this thing rebooted. I pull out my Mac. It did the same thing. I mean, it was nasty, whatever got in there. And actually had to send the MacBook back to Apple. So I don't really know what went down there, but I got hacked in. And then I was in Thailand sitting at this little coffee shop, which this was, I don't know, probably 2012, 2013. A bunch of Russian folks in there. And I don't know what happened, how they did it, if they were running a fake hotspot and I logged into the wrong one. Anyhow, I got hacked back then. They got into everything that I accessed while sitting at that coffee shop. They got into all that. And by the time I got back to the house, it was already craziness going on with the email. So like, if you're, nothing against my Russian friends, but y'all are some great fucking hackers. And so, if I'm in a Russian area, like if I'm sitting over and hanging out in Pratamnak in Pattaya, I'm not fucking opening up any of my devices on any public network whatsoever, because Russians are very, very skilled at that trade. They're very smart computer people. But anyhow, since then, I haven't had any problems. But change your passwords on some type of rotational basis. If you can't remember the last time you changed your passwords, it's time to change your fucking passwords. And you select passwords that are not, John Wayne, something common. It needs to be, and nothing this long. It needs to be a fucking password this long that is going to withstand the low-level hackers, right? Not to get too technical, but if your password is Facebook #1 or Facebook 1, that's, come on. Anyhow, so those are the thoughts I had on this little incident. It was, let's see, yeah, I think I covered everything here. And again, I have no idea if you have an Android. I haven't had an Android phone in so fucking long. I don't even know how to use the thing. I'm an Apple guy. But anyhow, learn some insight into how that shit works. Now, you can play a sound and put a message up there, but I think I was so quick to hit the erase and just get it done that once you do that, it wouldn't play a sound. But I tested it with my computers here, and no problem. You can go there under Find My, hit play a sound, and your damn laptop will start playing a sound, or vice versa. You get on the laptop, hit play a sound on the iPad, it'll play a sound. So I don't know what I did. I guess I hit the erase and I couldn't do it anymore, because that would have been quite helpful if I had just walked over there and started playing a sound. Well, the damn thing's gonna play a sound, right? Even if it's turned off in somebody's pocket. But I jumped the gun, and I think when I hit the erase, it took that ability away for me to hit play a sound. So a lot of mistakes in how I tried to track this phone down, but it was quite entertaining for me. It was quite a learning experience, and now I'm more well versed on how that shit works. Because to be honest, I had really no idea how it worked before. I knew Fatima could track me everywhere I go, but as a matter of fact, she said she was tracking me that night. But anyhow, folks, I hope you were entertained. I hope you learned something. You know, data security, tighten up your shit, change your password. Don't take your iPhone out when you're drinking, okay? Especially if you're here in Angeles City on Walker Street. There's no reason, unless you're, you know, publishing videos and that's what you do. If you're just here to party, there's no reason you need an iPhone up in the bar. Obviously, they don't want you filming up in the bar. So you tell me why you need an iPhone to go out in Angeles City or Pattaya during a night of drinking. What does it benefit you to carry around $1,000 piece of equipment while you're drinking? It doesn't. So I violated my own principles and lost my damn phone. The good thing is, I mean, that thing is a couple years old, and I guess it's been dropped so many times, like the footage is starting to get a little wobbly. I don't know if the lens, anyhow, it got used, and I got the good use out of it. I got the good out of it, as we say. So I'm not upset at nobody. I'm not upset at nobody. It's like I said about these chicks that stole my ring, folks. A lot of people in this country are in desperation mode. They live from day to day. Not everybody, but a lot of people here. And all that person, that girl, apparently it was a girl who ended up with the phone, jumped straight in the trike, went straight over there. Wasn't no waiting, nothing. Next trike. The minute they got that phone in their hand, trike, straight to those shops over there. It was over there before I got back to the crib and checked on it. And you just got to realize their shit's day to day. You know, their planning horizon is day to day. How am I going to get some money today to put rice on the table today? And their life and their struggle and their journey through the universe with the rest of us is a lot harder than mine. And so I don't know. I just have empathy. Am I weak? No, I'm not weak. It's not weak to have empathy for other people. And then the totality of the circumstances, what did I lose? I lost a fucking 2-year-old cell phone that, you know, wasn't worth much right now anyhow. It's all good. It's all good. What would Jesus do? You see what I mean? And I know a lot of y'all aren't going to agree with me. I took the cops over there. You're just letting them get a pass. They'll do it to the rest of us. They're not going to learn a lesson no matter what, my friends. When you live day by day and you live in desperation and survival mode, you don't learn lessons. You know, you don't learn lessons because you're living day by day. You know, if you're hungry and somebody catches you, you know, trying to steal an apple and they slap the shit out of you, well, guess what? If you're hungry the next day, you're still going to try to get that fucking apple. All right. So that's my thoughts on that. Oh, the one last thing. There was conflicting information on Apple as to whether or not I can continue to track that. Like on the screen, it says, since it's been erased, you can't track it. But an updated article says that if you have the new updated software, you can still track it. Now, it's not going to serve any purpose other than just for my entertainment. but something's conflicting because I can't see it anymore, and either it's been cannibalized or I just can't see it. But the point is, make sure, common sense, you keep your shit updated, your software on your iPhone updated. Now, that might be common sense, but like Fatima never updates her stuff, never checks to see if it's updated or what have you until I have to remind her, right? And I don't think she doesn't want it on automatic because, you know, if she's only got a little bit of load left and that thing goes to update, it might zap her load. So keep your shit updated, especially in times like this, and also keep your shit backed up, because I can't remember the last time I plugged that phone into the iTunes or whatever it is and backed it up, right? So there's a lot of data that I am going to lose, that I did lose, I have lost, because I haven't plugged it in and backed the thing up. And I didn't have all the settings to back it up to iCloud. So a lot of learning points, Biggest thing that I'm pissed off about is I lost all the footage to the second half of selling the Tesla chopper. All that footage got gone with the phone, so that video is like half complete. It was, you know, you only saw half the video. The best half was the second half, but between filming that, that's when the phone, after filming that, that's when the phone got lost. Shit happens, folks. Y'all see the stress I'm under here. It's a struggle. Old single dad, after a night of partying, lost his cell phone. But I'm not buying a new one. I thought about it. I said, you know what? These folks actually did me a favor, because ever since that happened, I've like been free, more productive. I'm not sitting there looking at, you know, just total BS. They freed me. And I said, I'm not buying a new iPhone. I'm going to keep my talk and text, and I'm going to carry around that old camcorder. And so when I do have to film with something in my pocket, that's what I'll film with. But I'm not going out and buying a new iPhone. Maybe another year. But I'm going to run it with the talk and text and the camcorder. And I'll buy one. And I said, you know what? I'm not buying the old lady a new iPhone either. I'm going to get her a new iPad. Because then people aren't just sitting there laying around or walking around or at the restaurant doing this shit. You know what? You want to check your messages? Wait till you get back to the crib, baby. And then you can check it on that big iPad I got you. And then everybody's living in the moment, right? So that's it. I ain't buying no more. I ain't going to buy a smartphone. It's my plan. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining me. Please leave your comments down below. And if I totally screwed up the technical part of how that damn thing is tracking, add your information down below. And it might teach this old dog something. So that's it. Hope y'all having a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wherever you're at on this little beautiful planet we call the Earth. And you know, whenever you have a bad day or a bad night, I'm going to leave you with this. Just take a look at a picture of the Earth, and then go and look at one of those pictures from the James Webb telescope. And when you look at those photographs of the immenseness of the universe, and just looking at our planet, and you realize that somewhere on that planet is a little dot, which is you, and you perceive to have these problems, or you think you're stressed out because you lost a goddamn cell phone last night. And it just quickly resets your mind and says, you know what? It doesn't matter, because look at the vastness of the fucking universe. All of a sudden, your little problems here on Earth don't matter. Shouldn't stress you out. And that's why losing that cell phone, Don't stress me out one bit. I feel rejuvenated. I'm out of here. Peace out, my friends. See y'all on the next one.